So these are the assembly instructions of my coffee capsule handbag. So I'm going to start with that middle piece that has the cutouts for the coffee capsules. And it's harder to see on this patterned paper, but there are two sets of score lines on the top and on the bottom panels. And there's one set of score lines on the side. So I'm just going to fold down on all those score lines. So I'm going to take this piece that looks like a little bit like a cross, and then I'm folding and burnishing the 4 score lines for it. Next, I'm going to decorate my panels. So I'm just matching up my panels with their associated layers. And what I've done, I've used black cardstock. So this is 80-pound cardstock. And what I've done is I've used a 3D embossing folder to give it a little bit of dimension and interest. All right, so I'm going to start with this panel, and I'm just folding down on the score line that's at the top of this panel. And I'm going to glue this down so that there's an even border all the way around. And this is the back part of the handbag. I've just put glue on the panel, and I'm just gluing it down again, trying to maintain an even border all the way around. I have a similar piece, but this piece has an extra tab at the bottom. So I'm just going to fold down on the tab. Again, glue at the back of my decorative panel, and then just glue that down. And then I have that plus shaped piece that I had folded down. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to adhere the decorative panels just on the flaps, leaving the center empty, like so. So I'm just putting glue on the back of my decorative panels and gluing them down to those flaps, trying to maintain an even border all the way around. I'm going to take the larger piece that has the flap along the bottom. So I'm just putting glue along that bottom tab. I'm going to flip my piece over. I'm just adhering that tab to the long side of my plus shaped piece, like so. And then I'm going to take that other piece that has the curve at the bottom and the flap at the top. I'm putting glue all along that tab. I'm just gluing it to the other side, so directly across from that piece that I just glued in. I'm just gluing it to the long edge, like so. So you've got this piece at the top and this piece at the bottom. I'm going to flip my piece over, and I want to position this piece so that it's just between the score lines on the top and on the bottom, but you have your curved side that ends in a little pointed corner, and you want that corner to be at the corner of your box, so at the edge of your box. So this piece fits just there. So I'm putting glue all over this white rectangle, and then I'm positioning my piece so that those little corners are right at the side, and that layer is flush with that score line at the top. And it should be flush with the bottom score line as well. And then I'm going to flip my piece open. I'm going to grab my piece with the 6 cutouts for the capsules, and I'm putting glue just along that tab that's turned under. Then I'm putting it right along the edge of that score line. There's a little tiny gap here, but it has to be parallel to the sides like so, and right up against the score line. And then I'm just going to fold it down. So that'll position it exactly where I need it to be. Then I'm putting glue along the tab that's on the other side, so directly opposite the one that we've just done. And I'm flattening that piece so that that tab falls exactly on the score line on the top. The piece is flattened down, and that helps me position it exactly where I need it to be, like so. Then I'm going to pop my piece up, fold those flaps down, and these flaps are going to go up. I'm going to put glue all along this side. It's almost a shame to cover up this beautiful paper. I'm going to fold this side up. Now I just want to make sure that the corner of my box is just at the edge of my panel on the side, because you want this to be straight. So the corner of your insert box is right at the corner of that side panel on both sides, and that way you know that it's nice and straight. I'm going to do that for the other side as well, just putting glue all over that panel, and then raising up my side panel, making sure that the corners of my insert on both sides are just at the cut edge of the panel. You can just go in there, apply a little bit of pressure to make sure that that glue takes. So we fold this up, fold this down, and next we're going to work on the handle at the top. So I've used the 80-pound cardstock from my base, and I'm just folding down on the score lines that are on each end, like so. I'm putting glue from the score line to the end, like so. So I want an even amount from the edge of the handle to the top and the edge of the handle to the bottom, so this is centered. 1/4 inch away from the edge, like so. And I'm going to do that for the other side as well. So I'm just putting glue from the curve to the score line, and then trying to center it again just like I did for the other one. And it's about 1/4 inch off the edge. And then I have my little embellishments. I've got my snowflake that's cut out of glitter cardstock, and I have my base. I'm putting glue just along the bottom of my snowflake, gluing it to its base. Then I'm putting glue on the underside of the offset, and I'm just gluing it. I'm going to do the exact same thing on the other side. And then I have my closure. The one that I've previously made, I used little magnets to close. On this one, I'm going to use a small Velcro closure. First, I'm just going to glue my snowflake to the offset layer. The two smaller snowflakes are embellishments for the handle, and then the larger snowflake is for the closure. So I have my closure piece, which is just a strip that looks a lot like the handle. So I'm just folding down on that score line and putting glue from the score line to the edge of the piece. I'm going to position it so that it's centered over that dip, and I want it so that it's about 3/4 inch from the tip. So next I'm using the 3/8 inch circular thin clear fasteners, the Velcro brand. I've got both sides of my Velcro adhered on top of one another, like so. I'm going to place one of them inset a little from the edge of that curve. I'm going to push down to place the other one. I've peeled off the backing of my Velcro, just adhered it where it would naturally go. And now I'm just going in there and making sure that it's good and stuck. And then I'm going to place my embellishment on top of the closure. So I'm just putting glue on the bottom of my strip and gluing that on like so. So for the last little bit, I have my sentiment, which I'm going to adhere just here like so. The word gift is cut out of adhesive vinyl, which I've just applied to the panel, and the words just because were drawn with a coordinating Cricut gel pen. I'm just going to glue that down there. So I have my black and white version. So this one is done with 80-pound cardstock and glitter cardstock as well. Then I have another version that I've done. This one also has glitter cardstock, but I've used Cricut foil poster board, which I've embossed for this version. And I have a third version. I've used glitter cardstock as well, 80-pound cardstock, and for this one I've used pattern cardstock for a bit of a different look.